Hey guys, how you doing? And today you're with me. This is a reply, very friendly reply, to one Mr. Thor Skywalker. Now, if you haven't checked out his channel, subscribe. If you're a listener of mine, or if you happen to see this, I highly suggest you go check his content out. It's great stuff. But to Mr. Thor Skywalker, you were talking about Resistance having been a failure, being shut off after 2 seasons. Where do we go as far as the next Star Wars cartoon? And you're talking about going back to what's tried and true. I mean, yes, I too am completely and totally hyped about the next iteration of Star Wars The Clone Wars. But you know what? You talked about not having the Force or anything in Resistance. But the thing is, even in Clone Wars, every once in a while we get a saber duel. And, you know, people with glowing sticks and fights and all that. But a lot of times, it's clone troopers versus, you know, robots. And every once in a while, Jedi thrown in. And maybe some Mandalorians. But you know what we really need? We need to turn the clock back. We need to go back to the old Republic area. 4,000 years before the Battle of Yavin. Right around the time KOTOR / Star Wars The Old Republic game comes out. In fact, I would take Star Wars The Old Republic and turn it into a cartoon before where the original 8 stories are set. Set it back in the original Sith Empire versus Republic war that had Satele Shan as a Jedi Knight, Jace Malcolm as a trooper, Shae Vizsla in her heyday, Malgus in his heyday. Let's see the Sith and Jedi in all their glory along with their armies go head-to-head in a slobber knocker to take it all. Let's see 300 lightsabers, red versus green and blue, and other colors, going back and forth in a wild melee. Let's shoot the moon. We have the capability. Clone Wars has shown us that they can do grand battles with a lot of stuff going on and tell a very good, coherent story. Let's go for broke. Let's show the Sith and the Jedi in their heyday going at each other for broke, with great stories, fighting, action, drama, the whole nine. As I'm showing in these clips from the actual Knights of the Old Republic, these are the opening videos that you're seeing as I'm playing along, as you're hearing my voice, of Star Wars The Old Republic. You see Satele Shan doing flips, dueling. I mean, she's, you know, the descendant of Revan and Bastila, you know, or, you know, these fights over Korriban, Alderaan, a real fight of the Jedi Temple, not just the 501st rolling in and killing a bunch of Jedi, but the Sith marching into the Jedi Temple and having a free-for-all. This is the kind of stuff I want to see taken to the small screen as a cartoon. Now, it doesn't even have to be this animation. It could be Clone Wars style animation, or I think it'd be really cool to have this kind of animation done as a cartoon. Though I think it would take way too much long to produce, because God knows how long it took to produce these little 3 or 4 minute snippets. But still, we could have a really great, awesome, thrilling set of stories set in the Old Republic. I personally believe, without a shadow of doubt in my mind, if they do another Star Wars cartoon, they have to take it back to the Old Republic. Before the Clone Wars. Millennia before the Clone Wars. And we take a look at what led up to what would become the Clone Wars. The actual fight between the Sith and the Jedi in their heyday. Thousands of sabers going at each other. That's what we need to see on the small screen. That, in my opinion, would be the most epic, penultimate saga told on the small screen in a cartoon for Star Wars. And don't make it just for kids and also, no, make it like you did for the Clone Wars for all ages, for everybody. There's something for everybody. I mean, you got T701 for the droid for the kids. I mean, you could have starfighter battles, pirates, Mandalorians, galore, everything. That's where the next cartoon needs to be, Mr. Thor Skywalker. Not turning back just to the original trilogies. Let's go way back in antiquity and tell some real awesome, over-the-top, blow your mind, Clone Wars eat your heart out stories that Clone Wars always wanted to do but couldn't because there were no Sith. And had to use the same 3 or 4 people on the bad guy side with Dooku, Asajj Ventress, Maul, and Savage instead of a whole plethora of Sith you can play with. You can create all new characters. Just go wild. Let the imagination ignite. That's my idea for a pitch for Lucasfilm to get me to sign up for Disney Plus. I mean, The Mandalorian just might do it on its own, but if they put a cartoon like I'm postulating down and said, hey, here's our next cartoon idea. Do you like it? I'll be like, yes, please. Please, sir, may I have some more? That will get kids excited. And this is overall arcing for the movies. They need to roll back the clock to the Old Republic. We have been begging for it. I mean, even with just Revan, we have been begging for the Old Republic because there's so many places that they can go for millennia before the original Star Wars trilogy, and it won't affect it. And you can tell some of the most thrilling stories in this setting. It is wide open for interpretation of what happens and the canvas that they can play with that can still feed into the Ruusan Reformation 1,000 years before and the golden era of the Jedi to what the Clone Wars became. There is so much canvas that they can play with, so many characters that they can create, so many stories they can tell. We're begging for this kind of stuff. The Old Republic is where we need to go. I hope Thor Skywalker sees this. I'm going to try and tag him on Twitter. I'm also going to put this as a reply and pray that he watches it on the video he did about Star Wars Resistance. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you all enjoyed the visuals as I'm showing it, as I'm making this video and recording it. I hope you all have a great day. And Mr. Thor Skywalker, I hope you like my idea. I'll catch you next time.